views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, this is our fabulous show with Dr. Glenna Rice, the questionable parent. This is what we're doing here today. Today it's about let's have a conversation with your body. And today, Dr. Glenna's special guest is Cass Thomas. So let's talk a little bit before I give you a formal introduction of these two amazing women. You know, what is it we want to say about our bodies? Well, whatever it is, we generally don't say. There you go. So we might as well just kind of like end the show, but that's not true. What is it that we look at when we're looking at ourselves that we don't realize that we're having? And so have you ever decided somewhere along the way you're going to actually have a conversation? Well, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. Dr. Glenna Rice joining me here today, regular co-host on the show, host of her own incredible show and podcast. But more than that, she is someone that travels the world. She's a physical therapist, owner of Access Physical Therapy, but also she's an amazing Access Consciousness facilitator. And she teaches people about the body. You know, there are some people that can't even say the word the body, but this is what she does. She goes beyond all of that, asks the question, what else is possible? And literally takes people by the hands and helps them transform their lives to gain a new level of awareness. Today as well, Cass Thomas joining us here today, best-selling author, international coach, Access Consciousness certified facilitator, travels the world as well, but invites us to understand and tap in to our own unique brand of magic. What is it? What is it that we want to say, be, do, and show up as? Today, we are all coming together to this particular show to tackle what I think is a tough subject. Why? Well, because many people right now, they looking in the mirror, they saying, oh, summer's coming. Nope, ain't going to get into that bathing suit. Or, yep, whatever it is we're saying. Are we doing it to honor our best selves? Dr. Glenna, Cass, great to have you both here.
Oh,
thanks
for
so
having
much
fun,
for having us. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah. So I want to let's just start out with this question to get to know each of you a little bit around this topic. Let's start with you, Dr. Glenna. Dr. Glenna Rice, been on the show for years, and I don't know that I've ever asked you, Dr. Glenna, what kind of chats did you have with your body from before, when you even knew that you were having a conversation with your body or how important it was? But what was it that you used to say to your body, and what have you learned to say differently to the Dr. Glenna Rice body?
That is an awesome question. Thank you. And my head is just going, oh my God, I don't even want to tell people. Kind of conversations I used to have with my body. But they were pretty normal conversations. Yeah. A pretty busy lifestyle that I had before. I have a busier one now, but I have more ease with it. And I create with my body and we're friends. So it works a lot better now. But I would, force it to do things. We had to go to class. We had to go to dance class. We had to exercise so many times a week, no matter what my body felt like, no matter what else was going on. I had to force those things into my life, which so many people do. I wouldn't say, hey, body, do you want to go to class today? Which is what I always ask now. I had 3 kids. I was running around all the time. I was pretending I was really sleep deprived. Actually, my body doesn't really require as much sleep as everyone tells you. So that was a different conversation I had. Like I need to go to sleep because I'll be tired. Well, since I changed that conversation, I go to sleep when my body's ready, and I'm never tired in the morning. And I judged it. Yeah, I had 3 kids. I judged how my stomach looked afterwards. Now we talk about those things. Like, body, how would you like to look? I gave you permission to create yourself the way you want it to be. And the things that I would judge start to change because your judgments will lock. Your body will create itself from the judgment. It'll also create itself from a question when you're using it. So completely different conversation. And the ease that is for everything you do, from just getting up in the morning and having your first cup of coffee is easier when you're talking to your body and having a conversation.
Yeah, so I have a question for you, and then we're going to jump to Cass, right? I did a brief introduction of what both of you have accomplished in life, and honestly, it's really very brief. But when we do these shows, the way we do them, we talk real stuff. Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe you both don't do this, but I'm just saying. So you've never had the trash talk with your body?
Oh, yeah. I did have, yeah. I would be very upset with how it looked or how it felt. Things like, if I don't do this, I'm going to get sick. That would be one that is actually abusing your body because or I'm sick of this. I would say that a lot. Oh my God, I'm so sick of my life. I'm so sick of taking the kids to school. I'm so sick of this or I'm so sick of that. And I did get sick. And when I stopped that abuse, I have not been sick in 10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I trashed it, moderately. I also liked it, so I wasn't terrible. I've heard some real horror stories over the years about how people are with their body. But I definitely didn't have the awareness that you could have a relationship and a friendship and a communion with it, and it could go, create with you instead of against, creating against your body. But, yeah, I didn't like my shape of my body. Didn't like how thin my hair was. There's lots of things I judged it about it. And they still might creep up. But now I have tools. I've got tools now. I don't have to, make those judgments stick. I can change it. I can change my point of view and create a different possibility.
I love this, Cass. Just so you know, because you're touring the world right now. And talking about your hit book, 7 Steps to Flawless Communication. So you must be cringing right now with me talking about trash talk for my body. But Glenna will tell you that is me. That's the role I play, because I haven't always been Dr. Pat. You understand? I haven't always been that. Honestly, half the time I didn't even know my name. But for you, what's the transformation that happened to you? Or have you always been, masterfully, Cass Thomas?
I love the question. I really love the question you asked, because I'm sitting here listening to Glenna, and wondering what was the conversation like. And I spent a lot of time, and the answer surprised me to that question, because I get that now it's actually a dialogue with my body. It's not a monologue, and I'm actually soliciting information from my body with which to make choices, and we call them decisions, right? What to eat, where to go, what to wear, all the time, a conversation. So it's actually a slower conversation, and so thank you for that question, because I get, just by you asking me that it was more immediate. And I guess, perhaps it was based on judgment. I remember as a kid, I cut out salad dressing. I live in Europe. I've been living here for about 20 years.
Yeah.
But in the States, we have, I don't know how many salad dressings now, but even, 20 years ago, there were like 20 of them. Blue cheese salad dressing was my favorite, right? They always wanted blue cheese salad dressing. So a little bit from discipline, and maybe it was from judgment, but feeling like I was a little chunky. I cut out salad dressing. And my sister to this day says, I can't believe the discipline you have that you just cut out salad dressing, right? From your, and a few other things but it wasn't never a conversation with my body. I was like, okay, how do I do this? How do I get my body to match the judgment I think, you know what I mean, I would like to have with my body. But, I at 11, graduating from the 5th grade, I remember my picture with my elementary school teacher. I had my arm around her. She was underneath my armpit because that's how small she was, and flat. And I have had, I guess, a double D cup since I was 11,
Mm-hmm.
They're
and
amazing. Yeah.
nice brown booty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So, and that's not always so comfortable. Maybe it even was 10. That's not always so comfortable as a kid. Lots of attention that now I would know how to channel. But at the time, it's a bit overwhelming when, you get all that sexual attention for your body. So I spent really a lot of time, and maybe that's the trash conversation, like actually trying to annihilate the existence of the body. Like, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Don't look here, don't look here, don't look here. And also, I was quite a student. So there was, the mind, the intellect, that kind of thing. Plus, in the spiritual stuff. So, I was reading Seth Speaks from Jane Roberts when I was a kid. So I was much more interested in those kind of conversations, and could have been into the body, but totally didn't want to bring any more attention than it automatically got, just because it was shapely. So the funny thing is now, right? When I moved to Italy, I was like, I look at my pictures, I was like emancipated at the time, but I always thought it was, I was always trying to cover my body. 20 pounds more later, more than 20 pounds later, I'm like showing it and loving it, and there's so much more of it to show. So that's a bit how the conversation has changed. Does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, I mean, because what many people may not know about you, Cass, is that, you're somebody that, you work for years for multinational companies and in New York City. I was born in New York City, lived on the East Coast a little bit, right? And you started your own theater there. And so you're like out in this world, if I might say, where some people might look and say, well, wait a minute, them people, they're all about the bodies. They're all about how you look. And, there's something to be said about that, because I'm telling you where I live right now. I live in Washington State in Seattle. And I will tell you, Glenna, the true confessions now. Generally speaking, you don't leave the house without makeup when you're living on the East Coast. Generally speaking, I'm just saying, you don't leave the house. And I don't care if you're going to shop, right? Or where are you going? Or to pick up a pizza. And, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you're always looking good, and my God, your nails are done. If you saw my nails right now, oh my goodness. But what is this message it's giving us? Let's get back to you, Dr. Glenna. What is the message that we're getting, and is it really helping us access our consciousness?
No, it's definitely not a conscious message when we're trying to fit into the boxes of this reality, of what we're supposed to look like depending on the city. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Seattle. It is a little bit more laid back than the East Coast about how, you can go out with your hair in a ponytail and not makeup on. You kind of need to be in yoga clothes to make it work there. You need to be dressed appropriately, but that's not. Consciousness is the awareness of everything without judgment, and somewhere in that, when you're trying to fit into what other people are looking like, there's a judgment in that of that you're not looking that way. So that's, you can't have the awareness of what you would like to go out looking like, what your body would like to. I mean, maybe your body would like to be dressed to the hilt, in high heel shoes when it goes to the grocery store some days. And we never even ask it that. And that might be more fun for your body in you than you'd ever imagine. But with these judgments in place of how we're supposed to look and fit in, we can't even access the other fun ways our body would like to be. And like to go out in New York in, sweatpants and your hair in a ponytail, because that's what it wants to do this day. So we don't really allow ourselves to listen to what our body would like. We don't have this. We have a monologue, like Kath is talking. We're not listening to all the information it has. And when you allow yourself to have the joy, let your body talk to you and let you know what it enjoys, and you let it have that, your life just gets greater. I mean, our body, that joy of living that's possible has to include your body. Because most of the things that are joyful that we do in our life include our body. Eating a beautiful meal, having a beautiful nap, getting a massage, going for a walk. Just sitting at our computer and creating can be joyful if you include your body in that.
And when your body is turned on, like Glenna is saying, when you're enjoying your body, it's a very different vibration. Mm-hmm. It's like people notice it. The molecules are always talking when we talk about conversation. The molecules in your body are always talking to one another, but they're also always communicating with others. So you know when someone's tense, you know when someone's scared, you know when someone has low self-esteem, and sometimes that comes off as arrogance when it's really low self-esteem. But what doesn't matter, like Glenn is saying, whether you're wearing jeans or whether you're wearing, high heels, if you've seen people in high heels and you're like, wow, she's got all the elements of sexy going on. Why is it not reading, And you've seen somebody in jeans and you're saying, oh my God, what make is that? I've got to get those jeans because you know what I mean? But, the thing you asked me about the theater and stuff, and I've been working in television for years as well, is I just realized that it's a way of being around. Yes, there's lots of judgment and all about image there, but I'm always on the producer side, right? So that a producer also looks good. They could look half good, but they get 20 more comments because that's not the judgeable character in a production. You know what I mean? So the actresses may not, or the actors may not give one another compliments, but they'll compliment the producer because no one expects that. And even in moving to Rome, it's like I look different. I mean, I'm obviously not Italian, even though there's a lot of, people born here that aren't of Italian descent. Right. So being different, and that's what I love about Access too, being different is already an attraction in itself. So really how you are, your level of comfortability with that. I have continuously thrown myself into seemingly less and less comfortable situations. Don't want to stick out? Okay, move to a country where, you're probably the only brown thing they've seen in that neighborhood. You know what I mean? And the tools that we, that Glenna and I play with all the time and play with together too, always asking one another questions about how much ease can you have with being different. And everyone's different. Everybody is different. Everybody and everybody.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But, let's do this because now I believe, and this, I want to get some feedback on this. I believe it is actually fashionable now to be unique and different. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so I'm probably older than you both, right? Probably older than you both put together. But here's the deal, what I remember. I remember growing up in a generation where all of a sudden my mom's look, my mom's clothes, my mom's hair in a bun, whatever that deal was about, it was, wow, I've got long hair, I've got a headband on, maybe got a few colors going on in there, kind of loose clothes, looking a little, what hippie-like, if I dare say. Really a conversation about look and feel, and underneath all that was a sense of how we felt about our bodies in that generation. Now here's the deal. I don't know what happened between the 70s and right all through the 90s, but there was a shift, and I don't know if this is true. Are we getting back to being comfortable just the way we are? Are we getting back with that despite, Dr. Glenna, despite television ads, good looking people getting the big roles, my gosh, is anybody watching Wonder Woman these days? But are we more, right, are we more acceptable today, or are we in constant battle? This question for both of you, constant battle with ourselves based on what we're supposed to be looking like and loving?
I was going to have Cass answer that. I think she has some cool awarenesses about that. I think it might be changing, and it's still the same quite a bit too. People really aren't. There was I was born in the '60s, so was Cass. We're about the same age, and he's definitely a lot older than you if you put our ages together. I think we don't have a lot of years under you, Pat. But yeah, there was a freedom from the 50s that happened in the 60s and 70s with the body. There was definitely a freedom that was showing up. I don't know, Cass, what's your point of view about that? That's a great question. Do you think
what's your point of view?
I'm not getting a yes on it, actually. It's not like everybody needs to be Barbie, but the judgments have not decreased of our bodies.
Yes.
And I remember Glenn and I were in a class together, and one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen stood up to the mic and said, how ugly she thought her body was. And everyone turned around and looked at her and just couldn't even figure out what she meant. Now, she was probably about 200 pounds, but she had such a yummy body. All you wanted to do is go up to it and touch it and hug her and cuddle her. You know what I mean? So it's like what we also do a lot is really noticing, just like you're saying, Dr. Pat, noticing and recognizing, acknowledging your uniqueness, you begin to take the focus off of the body in a way that it does not receive all of those judgments. Right. It's so funny. I live in Italy, right? It's like the fashion. Everyone is fashionable here. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be designer stuff. They're just well put together, and it's a very good-looking country. I mean, the average Joe would be Giovanni probably, but is good looking here. So that different thing and sort of the same. So that part of your question, yes, I get that. Different gives you something, gives you an added attraction. And one of the things about living in a pretty homogeneous society is that when someone's different, they're interested here. They're like, wow, hey, they're different. Where are they from? It's a curiosity thing.
Right.
And what would it take to make that viral across the world, really?
Yeah.
Because we are so much the same. We're so much the same. We're like 99.999% the same. It's that 0.001 difference, which be like a curiosity. What would it take? Hey, look at you. Wow. Well, how is it speaking that language? What is that like? How does that vibrate in your body? What is it having an afro? I've got an afro, Glenna. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I'm not. I'll see it.
I've got an afro.
I got to turn on my Skype camera now. We got to get that Skype camera.
Talking about the 70s, I haven't had one since the 70s. And it's, it's like, yeah.
Talking about this, I'm watching my daughters grow up in, this generation, and the internet and access to all the YouTube videos about how you can put yourself together, how you put your makeup on, how your clothes could be. They have more possibilities, I think, than maybe we did in the 70s of what they would like to choose to fit into, to look like, than they did. But I don't think there's, like Cass was saying, there's a difference in the judgment that they're coming from of how they have to fit in. And the body's not as included as it, if the body was included, what would they choose? They may be choosing the same thing or maybe something even more different. And talking about like being different and unique, like every single one of us in our bodies have these different talents and capacities and abilities that are incredible, and they're incredible gifts to everyone around us and to our planet. And when we're trying to fit into these boxes and look like everyone else or dress like everyone else, we don't give those gifts to anybody. They're lost. And what would it take for people to start accessing what they have that no one else has, because that's where your money is, that's where your magic is, that's where you can create from. What you have that no one else has is really what's truly valuable about you.
Yeah, I love what we're talking about here. Now, here's why I love it, and I love your feedback on this. Um, I happen to be Italian. And so there are some parts of being Italian, and this is not a show on Italians. So I just hold all your emails you're going to send me now about how unhappy about what I'm going to say. But it isn't even about that. I grew up in an Italian family that honored traditions and conversation. That's what today's show is about. It's about what are the conversations, and this is my question to both of you. What are the conversations that get us from where we are today? Let's just talk about it, from where we are today to where we want to go in life. Because if we actually believe for 1 nanosecond that our body does not play a role in the way we think, right? So how we think about our success. Oh, no, I don't think about my body. Okay, wrong answer. Oh, wait a minute. How I think about my money. Oh, my body. No. So what I'm trying to say is our bodies is what shows up in life. And if we are not like, hello, I'm on the same page as you, body, then don't we think that that starts to manifest in so many other areas of our life, right? Help me out here. Am I even close to being on track with why we need to have a conversation with the body?
You're totally on track. Yeah, it's really, you're talking about creating for your future, right? People talk about creating, being in the now, don't go into the past. But we rarely have a conversation about creating for your future. Like everything you're creating right now, what if it was something that was creating for your future? What would you be creating today if you were creating for your future? Like the things you'd like to have in your future. And your body is part of that conversation. Like if I go, choose a different area of work, different way to make money. So my body's included in the conversation about like what if I choose this, what's that going to create for my future? And is that going to expand my future? Because my choice is to have a future that is greater and greater. I don't want to destroy my future. I want to create it greater. So just asking body, if I buy this dress, what's that going to create for my future? Or will it make me more money if I buy this? It's a really great tool for money is if you ask everything you're going to buy that you wear on your body. If you ask it, your body, if I buy this, will it make me more money? And then everything you start buying starts to create more for your future. It's a way to starting accessing what you would like to create in your future. So absolutely, including your body, because right here on the planet, you're going to have this future with your body.
Oh, boy. Cass,
Exactly.
What do you say? What do you say, Cass? Because I'm telling you,
If you notice, like your body's always with you, right? So,
It is always with us.
and for making money, like your being, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, doesn't necessarily money. The money you're making and generating is for your body. And that question, it's one of my favorite questions. If I buy you, will you make me money? It doesn't mean, is somebody going to buy it off of me for more? It's actually it's a dialogue also with your body, because what you're asking is that object or anything, a place where you go, are you going to interact with the molecules of my body so that they sing, so that they bring me joy, so that the joy that it brings me is going to allow me to create a future that is working for me, or even a present that's working for me. It's like a molecular conversation, which is what I love about the work we do about access. But don't tell anybody, please, that, because they think it is practical tools, because more practical than knowing what atmospheres, what people actually are a contribution to you in your body, and don't send you into judgment, don't send you into clamp down mode. And that's that conversation you were talking about, right, Dr. Pat? Like that, what did you call it? Trash conversation. How much of that trash talk is ours, and how much of it is, us picking up on other people's thoughts, or even our body saying, "Oh, you had to bring me here, huh? around this person who does nothing but judge themselves. So you had to bring me in this atmosphere, where there's no, there's toxins in the air and there's no natural light. Or you had to put another piece of, 40, Benny wrote me that there's 50 types of salad dressing. You had to put another salad dressing on the salad instead of some oil and, and balsamic vinegar. You know what I mean? So everything asking, how are you going to interact with my body? Because my body is here. It's on this planet. It's interacting with this planet. Now, I, as a being, can go to, my body goes to sleep and I go and play with the stars and everything else. But the body is the one that's here and dealing with the people who are not so kind and dealing with the furniture that's not so comfortable and putting on the clothes who are a bit itchy and all that stuff. That's the conversation.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that when we come back from break. But before we go to break, you both you're traveling, you're doing access events, and let's just take a moment right here for each of you to let everybody know how they can find out more about you. And I want to tell the audience, 1-800-930-2819. Do you want to get some help about, as what does Glenna say to me? We want to get some help about your point of view about your body and what your point of view about your body could be. 1-800-930-2819. Glenna, let's start with you. Please let folks know how they can find out more about you and give us some info on where you both are going to be.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So two websites that are, one is all the access events that I have. It can be found online at accessconsciousness.com/Dr. Glenna Rice. And then you can also go to glennarice.com, which is easier to remember. And you can also, there's links all over my website to the access site also. So you can find me that way. And I'm really excited about something coming up. You guys have been talking about New York here. And Cass and I have wanted to co-facilitate an Access 3-Day Body class together for a couple of years now. And it's never worked out because we're both traveling so much. And we've known each other for 10 years. She used to be host and translate me before she became the 3-Day Body Class facilitator. So she's been sort of co-facilitating with the translating because she was always working with the bodies in a massive contribution. So now we actually get to create this class. We're going to be in New York the 15th, 16th, and 17th, right in Hell's Kitchen, that part of New York. Co-facilitating a 3-day body class. And we're going to have 2 evening classes, which are available to anybody. You do not have to have done any access before. There's no prerequisite. Cass is doing Being You. Yeah, yep. 7 o'clock on the 15th and 7 p.m. on the 16th. Cass will do a class the first night on Being You with Money, which is, we're starting to talk about some of the stuff she'll probably be sharing with people. And then I'm going to do an introduction class to the joy of business on the second night, starting at 7 p.m.
And what are the dates again? And what are the dates? Because I want to get my calendar adjusted. Tell people dates and how they can go to your website and look them up.
We're doing July 15th, July 15th and July 16th, the evening classes that are available to everyone, 7 p.m. East Coast time. We're going to try and get those online, too, so people can participate online. Mm-hmm. And then the 3-day body class, it's a class you have to have some prerequisites for that, a foundation class. Mm-hmm. Access bars and access foundations. That's the 15th through the 17th. So July 15th, mid-July.
Awesome. Let's take a short break. Yeah, Cass, website. Can you tell folks?
Cass Thomas, KASSTHOMAS.com. Cass Thomas, or The Art of Being Cass on Facebook.
Awesome. And we're going to take a short break, and then we're not going to take any more breaks until we just got to get some tools here. Stay tuned, everyone. 1-800-930-2819. We'll be right back.
Can't keep my hands to myself. No matter how hard I'm trying to. I want you all to myself. You're not there for
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show. Stellar conversations to illuminate your journey. Engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Are you feeling stagnant or blocked in your love life, career, health, or finances? Experiencing difficulty focusing or setting and achieving goals? Tune in to Spiritual Diagnostics Radio with psychic visionary healers Carol Dorian and Justice Welling. Discover the cause and effect of unwanted patterns in life. Tune in every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit spiritualdeed.com.
Gifted intuitive healer and spiritual teacher Sarah Luce brings her unique style to the hit show Small Steps, Big Breakthrough Radio on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in each month as Sarah turns reality on end and shows us how to experience expansive results with simple yet powerful steps. Expect an enlightening bend on what you currently believe is possible. For show details and upcoming topics, visit sarahluce.com. That's SARALOOS.com.
To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Huff, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. I am so thrilled to be talking to all of you. We have got talk radio for all of us. Are you ready and willing and able to accept all of the abundance you can muster up in your life? Yeah! Check us out, thedrpatshow.com, transformationtalkradio.com, transformationradio.fm. Oh my goodness.
So come on, give me a taste of what it's like to be next to you. Won't let one drop go to waste. Your metaphorical gin and juice. Oh, all of the downs and the uppers keep making love to each other. And I'm trying.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. And I want to say this. I mean, you all have listened to the show now for 14 years. And I know you know how important this topic and conversation is. And Dr. Glenna has been coming on the air, with me, Dr. Glenna Rice, a year after year after year with this conversation. And Cass Thomas as well, travel in the world. There's a reason why these two women do this. And I want to get back, Cass, to what you asked me during the break, because you all would not be doing what you're doing, teaching what you're teaching, if you haven't seen some things and some pain in people around the body. And I'd like to ask each of you, is that true? Are you there to help people move beyond the emotional pain, the physical pain? Is that what keeps you showing up the way you're showing up? Cass, do you want to start?
I do, because I've definitely given intro to Glenna. The World Health Organization out of Switzerland about almost 10 years ago stated that 80%, right? They released 80% of what goes on in the body in terms of pain and illness starts from the mind.
Yep.
You know, so if they release that, you know, it's probably like 95%, right? And bodies talk to one another. The conversation between bodies goes on all the time. We've got this wonderful tool in Access called "Who Does This Belong To?" or "Is This Mine?" Right?
Yeah.
And it's an amazing tool because so many of us take on, you know, are aware of something and we think it's immediately ours, you know? So these conversations with our body, but also with other bodies, and being willing to listen and acknowledge when a body is saying something to you. And they communicate often pain, often physical, but also emotional pain. And you can perceive that. So learning the language of bodies and being willing to learn new languages that different bodies communicate is really quite a pleasure, and can give you more ease with your body. And you see people who are looking for something different. Now, you also see people, this is what I really wanted to say, who hear bodies and listen to bodies. And one of the things that Glenna and I speak for you, Glenna, love about one another is because we see the conversation that one another have with bodies. It's not necessarily a different conversation, but they're different tongues that we speak. And the information comes to us. And Pat, when you have that moment in a workshop, in a private session, in a seance with someone where they relax into the space of who they are without the judgment, your whole body relaxes. Your whole body relaxes. You see their body relax, and the beauty, that the shadow of fear and doubt and pain and all that dissipates, and the beauty that they are begins to shine. There is nothing like it in the world. And I that's why I do what I do, and work and travel, and it's just wonderful. And I see that with Glenna in a different way, and it just is amazing. It's amazing.
And, you know, part of this is, you know, Cass, I'm just reflecting on what you're talking about, is the reason that you're in front of the folks is because obviously something in their lives is not working for them. And they probably have gone down the path of trying this and trying that. And here you are in front of them in service of them being in service of themselves. You know, Glenna, isn't it from your perspective, I mean, isn't there, like Cass was saying, a sense of pain, a sense of something? And sometimes it is physical, but there's a sense of something going on. And yet we do not have the awareness that our body has very much to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. And Cass, I love what you said. Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You know, they do show up in our classes. People do all the time because there is something that's not working in their life. There's some pain or suffering that they've, you know, that is real to them, that they're looking for tools to change. I can say that almost none of these things that we're creating as pain and suffering are truly real. They're a creation. They're a creation that's really popular in this reality. That's how we fit in, just like the stuff what we wear to fit in. We can take on our pain and suffering stories to fit in too. But I'm also seeing more of a different choice for people coming to classes, which is really exciting to me. But people are choosing because they want more. Not that they want to change something that's terrible, but they're actually choosing to have having more in their life, having a greater life, having a life that's more joyful and more fun than I've ever seen before, which has really been exciting to me. People are showing up. I used to get to people at the beginning of classes saying, oh, this hurts and that hurts and this is not working. And now I'm having people saying, how do you talk to your body? How can I be more grateful for my body? How can I create with my body? So many of the things we've been talking about. But see a shift in what people are possibly choosing on the planet, which I'm really excited about. Maybe years of these wonderful access tools are starting to dissipate greater on the planet than I've ever imagined they would. With, what else is possible with all of that, truly. And the pain stuff, when it does go away, it's such a gift. I mean, every single person that comes to my class gives to me. incredibly. It creates more in my life. Every time a person does change a point of view and is able to get rid of these crazy ways we create, that changes me, not just them. So there's always this gifting and receiving that's going on in the class. Do I choose to do these twice a month and travel all over the world just because I, get some money and get to see new places? No, it's this change that I see and the gifting that I get from the people when they choose more. Because that creates not just change for me and them, it creates change for everybody. When you're choosing more, everybody receives more.
I want to ask you both about some tools. What tools might we bring into play here now to really look at what we can do? And what I mean by that is, there are folks that may be listening to the call today and say, yeah, I relate to that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. Now what? So what can we help people out with here today?
Right. Well, one of the things I wanted to say is a lot of people come because something isn't working, but a lot of people come because they know something else is possible, right? They know that there's a deeper conversation that they can have. There's a better connection. They can feel more comfortable in their skin. And, Glenna was saying she travels a lot because, she likes the change. But also, we're in demand, thankfully. And what would it take to be even more in demand? Because people get that from us. They get that just by being around us, they get the ease. There's not a lot of people who are comfortable in their body. There's not a lot of people, like you were saying before, Dr. Pat, with the actresses. We've been in New York and, even in LA, when I went to LA the first time I was on the West Coast, I was like, God, is everybody gorgeous here? What is, and so no matter what, there's this, we actually embody it, like vibrate like that with no judgment about the body. And already, that's a different vibe. So I just wanted to say that not everyone who comes has something that's wrong. They just might know, how can I have it even more of me? One of the things about the conversation with Bod is I always suggest to people to start or to deepen the conversation, because some people do talk to their bodies, right? Yeah. It's one of the most interesting conversations, first of all, for me, you'll ever have. And you'll never get bored again once you start talking and listening to your body. But just to say in the morning when you wake up, just give your arm a caress and say, good morning, body. How was your sleep? What could I do for you today? And you don't even have to do anything. It's like when you walk into a room and somebody just smiles at you and acknowledges you. Do they have to do anything? No, you're just so happy. No. They noticed me. They said hi. They smiled. They know I'm here. Hello. I'm here, right? Your body, it just goes into relax. Is she talking to me? She's talking to me. Yay. Just good morning and a nice caress. Thanks for waking up, because you could have chosen not to. You know what I mean? That's, just one simple tool. And see how different your day is with that good morning and that question, what could I do for you today? Just notice the difference.
I love that, because here it is, right? So what's the alternative of that? What I mean by that is, what is it we actually get up and say? We actually might get up and say, oh my God, my aching back. I can't believe these knees. What the, there is that we sometimes automatically do without even thinking about it. But if we could start a different dialogue, as you just pointed out, how easy is that to do?
Yeah,
it's so easy.
It's almost too easy.
Don't listen to the mirror. They lie. Sorry. Go ahead.
Don't listen to the mirror. It's funny. When I used to, before, like we were talking about what my conversations used to be before I found these cool, amazing tools, I would get up and I would start to stress. I would I have to do this and pay these bills and the kids, and we're going to be late and get dressed and And I never had fun mornings. My mornings were stressed out while I was still lying in bed. And the tool that helps me the most, we've already mentioned on this call, is this. Who does that belong to? When I wake up in any city, still, I wake up and I am aware, as I open my eyes, of that city, everything's going on. When I'm in Seattle, I'll wake up and go, oh my God, I'll hear in my head, I need to go for a bike ride, or I need to go out running if it's a sunny day. Well, I don't ride bikes. So it was never my, I don't enjoy riding bikes. My body does. So me having a point of view that I should go ride a bike in the morning was obviously not mine. So becoming aware of how, when I woke up, the whole world's waking up, and all of their heads are going, and I'd be hearing them all. So who does this belong to? Is this mine or someone else's? Was a great tool to help me in the day, and I love Cass's tool. I'm going to start using that. I actually don't do that tool in the morning, but just to say hi. I usually say, hey, what Grand and Glorious adventures are we going to have today? Which is another fun one to do.
Yeah. I used to get back in bed if I hadn't asked that question, what Grand and Glorious adventures, because I noticed the difference in my day when I did ask it. So I'd be brushing my teeth in front of the mirror, and I'd be like, oops, forgot to ask that. Put the toothbrush down, get back in bed, and ask that question.
Well, one of the things I wanted to, just to ask you both about as a tool is sometimes it's being aware of not doing something. And, I think I'm one of these girls where, what works for me is looking at what I can stop doing. And some people don't do that. They're more like, oh, what can I do? And sometimes for me, it's just, wait a minute, you know what? I am not going to do that thing. And probably, not a big fan of using the not word, but that sometimes is the way that I have to catch myself. Now, I would love to know a different tool. I already know what else is possible here. So when I go to the not thing, I then go to what else is possible here. But what are your thoughts on helping people create that behavioral change? What have you found gets them to do that thing that they've done every day for 50 years differently this one day 50 year 50 plus day one?
Well,
That's a big question for the last. Go.
Yeah.
Go, Cass.
Go ahead, Glenna. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's a big question for a few minutes. There's a lot of different ways to have that. But looking at what's so vital about it or real to you, like what do you love so much about this thing you keep doing, and becoming aware of what that is. Like, what do I love so much about this? Sometimes if you can find what that is, which may be crazy and stupid, it's, because your mom used to do it. Or whatever it is for you, you can go, well, that doesn't really work for me anymore.
Exactly.
Does that thing you're doing all the time still work for you? Yes or no? And then seeing what it is that created it can help you change it. You can also just make a demand, no matter what it takes. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I'm changing this. Yeah, exactly. Is it working for you? Because a lot of times we decide we don't want to do something anymore because it's like the new black, not to do it anymore. But where is it? Maybe it's someplace working for you. A lot of people think they have this problem about sleep. Glenna alluded to it a couple of times, and maybe next time we'll talk about it. But sleep is a very interesting thing for people. And people are like, I don't sleep at night. And I'm like, are you tired? No, but I don't sleep at night. It's a problem. Is it? Are you tired? You know what I mean? Because, like Glenna said, there's like so many thoughts going on when everyone else is awake. How about some quiet time to yourself when everyone's sleeping and you're not picking up on all those thoughts? So it's like, what is it that we've decided we can't do, we shouldn't do, we should stop doing, right? That actually is working for us. It's working for us to be up in the middle of the night. Who's knocking on my door? Should I write a book? They can call me. I'm on the other side of the world. So you can, I'll be up.
Which we've done.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I've got your Skype now. I am one of those people. I get it all the time. I'm not a person that needs 10 hours of sleep. I don't know how to sleep 10 hours. And I can get, people say that I'm weird. I can get 5-6 hours of sleep, get up on a Saturday morning and go play table tennis for 6 hours. And I got to tell you, maybe our next show would be about what is some self-talk period. Because 6 hours of table tennis, hitting the ball at 100 miles an hour and feeling energized and not tired after 5 hours of sleep, my friends think I'm on drugs. I'm not.
Right. Well, maybe you're just on the drug called happiness.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Ping pong tournament, annual ping pong tournament's coming up at my house. So hop on a plane, get over here.
Are you serious? Because I'm
I
there.
am totally serious.
I am totally there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you a picture of me with my coach back in 1974.
Oh my
I'm going to
goodness.
send you. Oh, no. Okay. Sorry, Glenna. We just went off. Thank you both for today.
Cool.
I hope you both will come back, because there is a part 2 to this. There is a part 2 to this.
Yes.
I would love that. I think that would be fabulous.
Yes. It would be fabulous. And join us for cocktails in New York.
I'm on it. One last question. What's your personal message, each of you? What do you want to leave us with?
There's nobody like you on the planet. Please stop trying to be like anyone else. They've already got that covered.
Cool. How about, who are you today, and what grand and glorious adventures are you going to have?
Yeah. I love it. Thank you both. Thank you both so much. Dr. Glenna Rice and, of course, Cass Thomas. We have lots of information. Cass Thomas is cassthomas.com, KASS-Thomas.com. And Dr. Glenna Rice is, that's pretty much just it now, Glenna. You've moved over to glennarice.com and accessconsciousness.com. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.